Greetings, this is Friener Adventure. I'm coming to you with episode 4 reaction to content Dungeon Dudes Dungeons Drakkenheim campaign. First, the disclaimer. I do not own or am associated with the Dungeon Dudes or the YouTube channel. So, owning them, of course, is quite out of the question. Let's see. Okay, let's see. And without out of the way, when last we left off, the dungeon of this group the group for that time being, they have their own, each have their own names for each character has their own name for the group, but we'll just keep calling them the Ghostly Three. They saved a group of pilgrims from bandits on the who in the city right before, before which they have uh, uh, they had fought some gnolls, which, if you don't know D&D, are hyena-like creatures. Hence the name of the previous episode, Dog Days. Ironically, which was on because, as I pointed out, and they actually did confirm, hyenas are more closely related to cats. So how do you like your cousins, Faye? Anyway, now they're in the village of, I forget what it's called. They'll say it here in the review, and it is where Sebastian Crow, Kelly's character, grew up. And at the end they entered a bar, and one of the patrons there, and one of the patrons turned to look at them. A red-haired gentleman, which we could only assume to be the blacksmith of the town, Sebastian's father. I do not know the first name.
This is our weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game with the Dungeon Dudes. That's me, Dungeon Master Monty Martin.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, and I'm going to be playing Sebastian Crow, the half-elf shadow sorcerer. And we're joined by our good friends...
Jill Denitis, playing Veosenia, the Tabaxi Gloomstalker.
And Joe O'Gorman, playing Pluto Jackson, the Human Battlemaster.
Thank you all so much for joining us again, both players and viewers. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, Kelly and I post new videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel, where we're the Dungeon Dudes. We cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for new Dungeon Masters and experienced ones, as well as all sorts of guides and tips and tricks.
I'll just do a little skipping ahead because I
also find prior episodes from this campaign available for your viewing pleasure there.
If you want, you could always find
the
original video and find out what he's saying here.
Heroes, Sebastian polluted the ruined city of Drakkenheim, and let's see that on our map. In the North Castle region, heading all the way down the sprawl across the river and into the spokes. This long journey.
Okay.
So that you can find respite temporarily.
Thank you.
In
this is
the nearby village of Emberwood, the last remaining bastion of civilization for miles around. As they traveled through the ruins, they battled against several gnolls passing by Temple Gate, and they crossed the Dran River with the aid of a strange undead ferryman named Mr. Styx.
Oh, yeah.
As they made their way through the spokes of Drakkenheim, however, they encountered a group of pilgrims following a faith known as the Falling Flame.
Falling Flame.
The bandits, although some of them made their way to the village. Our group made their way for the sanctuary of Emberwood Village.
I think that's actually what I said.
Encountering the erstwhile merchant Aldor the Immense, the group settled down
Okay.
at the Bark and Buzzard Tavern to have some well-deserved hot meals and a few cold drinks. As they sit around the table at the Bark and Buzzard, it's a small, familial establishment. Sebastian, you recognize it from your childhood as being one of the few taverns in the village. There were a few others growing up, but this was always one of those warmer family establishments where the fathers could come in from the fields and bring their children while they knocked back a few beers and reminisced about the good old days.
The fact that has creepy ass
The
sign
Bark
is
and
the family for
Buzzard's
everyone.
tap room is moderately sized. There's about 4 or 5 large of cider and ale been brewing for generations, probably. And you can still smell that beer in the air as the frothy mixtures kind of slosh across the floor as the taps are flowing quite eagerly. For what else is there to do in Emberwood Village on the cusp of Drakkenheim's ruins but drink yourself to unconsciousness to deal with the crushing reality of the world you live in?
It's healthy.
It is.
It's coping.
Emberwood Village is abuzz with many people passing through. However, on your way in, you pass by groups of merchants and traders, because trade is the lifeblood that keeps the city alive, and there are more than just yourselves interested in plumbing the ruins and the delirium. Whether or not some of the other people hanging around in Emberwood Village are bandits or the faithful of the Falling Fire about to make their pilgrimage further into the city, or even members of other groups, is anyone's game, because the village has become a bit of a no man's land. And you passed by what looked like maybe 1 or 2 patrolling members of the Hooded Lanterns. It really doesn't look like there's any guard force or sort of law and order established in the city, in Emberwood Village, mind you, because there's no authority that could say who to run it. Ostensibly, the mayor might still, or the burgomaster, there still might be one in Emberwood Village, but this is your first time here for years and years and years, and I don't think Veo really follows local politics.
No,
Did you
definitely
say
not.
Burgermaster?
The burgomaster, yes.
That sounds
Burgers.
delicious.
I thought my
Burgermaster.
isn't the term
So as
Meister?
you have all taken a table together at the Bark and Buzzard, and the Karen Alsberg, the hostess, has already brought you your stew on the fire. It'll be by shortly.
I'm sorry if you want
I
to
hear
hear
my tummy grumble
You can find
really
the original
loudly.
video. I'm
I'm so ready for this.
It
What's
should
too.
be in the link.
Pluto,
Earthquake.
I'm on alert.
Pluto, did you say something?
I heard. I think I hear danger close.
I'm so ready.
As you all sit down and wait for your food, what's the tone of the conversation?
I'm quiet.
I'm purring like a happy kitten because I'm anticipating all the food and I'm in the warmth and I feel safe and I'm just happy to be here.
Pluto's reflecting on his almost defeat at the hands of Rarsh, and he's starting to he's quietly has this inner monologue of, "Am I worthy? He stabbed me 3 times. I almost died."
You
If
say
it
it's an
wasn't for
inner
you guys.
monologue, but I feel like you're actually just mumbling this at the table.
In between big things, and I'm staring off into the abyss, I'm not even.
So it's a very somber table right now, except for her. She's just like, food, 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 and we're just sitting there looking down.
I'm
Having
kind
this
of staring at
crisis.
both of you being like,
Wait,
what's going on? We're getting food, guys. And I literally find a bone on the floor and I toss it out Pluto and I'm like, Pluto, tell me about that troll you killed.
It hits off my helmet and lands beside me. I'm like, I didn't even do it by myself.
Oh,
Hey.
I
Pluto.
had help.
Throw it.
It's my biggest shame.
There's nothing wrong with having help. We've worked together on
hard to
so many
keep
jobs.
single-handedly.
That's-
Well,
Well, I had help. Technically, it was my sword that helped me. Oh, what a 180.
I was about to
As
say
he
something
tries-
nice, but never mind.
As he tries to lighten the mood, realizing that he's been in his own head. Roche really got to him. He's still tending to his wounds.
You know what? We did okay. We survived. This is what happens. Any survival in this city is like a great thumbs up. So you all did great because we're still not dead. So it's perfect. Yes.
Sebastian starts looking around the bar, once again nervous about possibly recognizing somebody, but he's not really paying attention to these two. He's more taking in the scenery because he hasn't been here in 15 years, and he's surprised that nobody's said anything to him yet. But then he realizes he was 15 years old 15 years ago. So yeah, maybe he
So
looks
he's
a little
30.
bit different. Maybe nobody's going to recognize him.
As your gaze passes around the
Here it
bar,
comes.
you see seated up at one of the bar stools is a tallish man with bright orange hair and a set of goggles on the top of his head. And he, as Karen Alsberg kind of passes by him and sets a drink down in front of him, he turns around to look out around the bar, and his eyes catch yours. And there is, as he turns around, you can see this kind of weathered, aged face. The man looks like he might be in his the man looks like he might be in his probably about in his 50s, maybe pushing 60, but there's still the color in his hair. And he has a very large full beard and a mustache that has been turned up in a little bit of a twirl. And you can see his face is kind of marked clearly by either burns or embers that have burned into his skin in places. There's a very clear difference in where the goggles are normally on his face from where the rest of the little bit of flesh that is not either protected by goggles or beard. And as he turns around and regards everyone in the bar, he catches eyes on you, Sebastian, and you make eye contact, and he kind of squints his eyes for a moment.
That's my dad, right? Obviously,
You're certain that this is your father? Yeah.
I stand up from the table, very loudly pushing my chair back abruptly, and I kind of once again start looking around awkwardly, and I'm like, guys, I think we need to
Go.
what do we I need to go. I need to.
And as you stand up, the flash of recognition appears on the man's face, and he says, "Sebastian."
Hey, Dad.
And they hear this, and now you get to hear the character reactions.
What's up? Nope. That's not a good way to start this. Oh
That's
my
been
god.
waiting 15 years to
Okay, I'm usually much more confident than this. Hi.
Good intro.
Thank you. I've been thinking about this moment for 15 years, and that's the best I can do. Okay.
You got this, Sebastian. You got this.
Oh,
Go,
weirdo
Carrot Top,
dresses
go.
like you.
Thanks, Pluto. That's guys, this is my dad. I'm back.
Hello, son. Is it you? Really? Is it? My eyes aren't playing a trick on me, are they?
No, I've
I've
come home.
He walks towards you. He comes off of the bar. He looks into his drink, takes a swig of it, sets it back down on the bar.
I grab the drink off of my table and finish the rest of it and set it down on the table.
He walks up towards you, Veo and Pluto. The man definitely has the familiar resemblance to Sebastian. If Sebastian wasn't so much of a twig, you can see that this man Tobias Crow is a strong-armed man that stands quite a little bit taller than Sebastian, fully standing up, and he walks forward with that kind of well-oiled age. Right, you can see that he's a man that's been working with his hands every single day of his life. But he walks forward a little bit slowly as he comes up towards you, and he reaches out and he puts his hands on your shoulder and says, "Let me get a good look at you, boy." Are you eating enough?
I mean, probably not. To be honest, we've been living off of scraps for the last while. We're traveling right now. You know how it is.
He says. He turns to the bar and says, "Karen, it's on me for me and the boy and his friends. Shall I sit?"
Please join us, Sebastian. Introduce us to this hulk of a man.
This is my father, Tobias Crow. He owns the blacksmith shop in town. We owned. He owned. Oh God, this is complicated.
We're still going strong. Don't worry, boy.
Good. That's good to hear. That's yeah. I'm sorry.
For what?
Oh, did you just fart?
Maybe, but it's been a while, and I'm sorry it's been so long. I missed a few birthdays.
It has been, but the after you were taken, the Eckermans, one of their boys, years and years ago, the academy came for them, and they never saw that boy again either. I just figured that was what happened when they came. I have not met many others who the academy came, and I thought this will be good for you, that you'd have an opportunity, that you'd be safe, that you'd be taken care of in a way that you always were part of a world that I couldn't understand. I'm a simple man. And I figured that, at least with the academy, wherever off you were going to be in the world, you'd be with people that would understand what was happening.
So you haven't heard any stories about me or anything
No.
After I left? No?
No. No one's ever heard anything.
Oh.
Here in
That's a little
here in Emberwood. It's been a strange 15 years, as you can imagine. But it's been good. The shop's been good. Life's been good. It's been war is good work for a blacksmith.
I bet. It's good work for a sorcerer, too. It's what brought me back here. I graduated from the academy.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. And what are you here on work then?
Yeah, some of my friends at the academy asked me to come back here and team up with. You've never met Pluto before. He's a companion of mine. We've fought together several times.
Good sir. Where'd you get that chainmail?
Oh, this old thing.
It probably looks old after all the things.
Acid stains and burns.
In the morning, you should come over around my shop, and we can maybe negotiate a little bit for a deal. We can give you the friends and family discount.
You never told me your dad. It's an honor to meet you, sir.
He takes your hand and shakes it. And
you remember? I mean, she was just a kitten when you last saw her, but you remember Veo? She was one of my friends.
I do. You're still a troublemaker.
Papa Carrot Top, of course.
I think I saw you lurking around the village once in a while.
I forgot
the past few years. I figured you were doing okay, but we haven't really spoke at all since Sebastian left.
No, I mean, I've been doing some jobs, keeping my belly full. You know, keeping an eye out for my dad. Did you happen to see him around? I know you used to know him.
Oh, the old steward.
Yeah.
God knows. If he'd be around, you'd think that he would have sided up with one of the other noble houses, seen what they could do about the war and all, but I wouldn't expect anyone that would have been in any position of power in Drakkenheim to keep around here. All the big nobles are moving on unless they're trying to pick over the ruins.
My dad wouldn't have left without me, so I know he's here, but if you haven't heard anything, then
It's a crying shame.
I'll
Girl.
keep asking around. But thank you for the food. Appreciate that very much.
Well, at least I can do. Where are you staying?
We haven't really sorted that out yet. We were gonna stay here.
Well, you should come stay up at the house. No, not the old house.
Okay.
No. I've got a new home now.
Well, that's
Sebastian.
good. That's good.
It's a new life. It's been a new life for me. In the times that gone, I'll admit I never thought I'd see you again.
Surprise. I won't lie. This is going better than I expected. I was nervous. I was nervous. You know, after a certain amount of time passed, it's almost like it was too much time. And so coming back just felt strange.
It's strange that you're back, I'll say. But I hope that you got the help you needed.
I can control it now. Better than
We can
before.
talk about it later. I don't want to remember sad things. There's enough of that in the world these days.
Fair enough.
I'm just whispering to Pluto. I'm like, see, and he was worried.
Yeah, why were we avoiding this place?
I
This
don't
sounds
know.
great.
Food, shelter. This is like pros all around.
Armor.
And the three of you going into the city then.
Yeah, we're doing some work around Drakkenheim. There's a lot of jobs, and a lot of jobs for specifically people of our skill types.
Never liked the city, like it even less these days.
Well, that makes sense.
Feel you there.
Yes, sir. We do want to get into the city.
Well, that's a whole other matter entirely. I just make my wares here. I'll tell you, I've seen a fair amount of it come back into my hands or end up as scrap metal. But a man's got to work. Got to feed the bellies, right?
Yes.
Take another awkward.
I kept your goggles that you gave me the
I see that. That's how I
Before.
knew it was you.
before I left. Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of looks down at his drink and ponders over it for a moment. A lot's changed, my boy.
Yeah, I can see that. There's, the town seems busier than it used to.
I don't want you to be upset by what I'm going to have to tell you.
That's always a great way to start.
I never thought I'd have to say it. Do you want to finish the round and come round to the house?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He turns up and he turns around to Karen and says, "Karen, Holger, pour us some of that Nordic whiskey, will you?"
It's pretty strong stuff.
Shot.
And he says,
Shots with your dad.
You've been delving into the ruins of that city.
Around the outskirts, yeah.
You've been okay? You've been safe?
So far, so good. We've gotten a few scraps, but like I said, I'm well trained now, and so are my comrades here.
I also know the city, as you know. I've been living here for quite a long time, so I make sure he's safe.
And Pluto's killed a troll.
I killed a troll.
That's impressive. It's not safe even here in the village. People go missing. I don't want to know that you've gone missing. That you don't come back. I thought you were gone. If you're gonna go gallivanting off into those ruins, get yourself killed. Is that what you're here for?
I'm not here to get myself killed. I'm here to get some answers about certain things.
What kind of answers?
You know why I was taken away.
Yeah. I figured they'd figure that they didn't really tell me much. That man, he came. I think his name was Rune Warden? Eldrick? Rune Warden?
Eldrick.
He came and he said that they were going to take care of you now, that you were going to be an apprentice, that you were going to grow up in the academy, and that was all they could promise. That they'd do their best, that they'd take care of you. That was all I knew. That was all they told me.
I had to come back. I mean, I woke up. I woke up screaming in the middle of the south wards of Drakkenheim after having a nightmare of a falling star, and only a few days later, it was hit in the exact spot that I woke up. It's got to mean something.
I don't know.
Neither do I. That's why I had to come back.
Okay.
I was offered
That's
work.
big
in the
reveal.
academy, and work that
Oh
would
boy.
allow me to
Not quite reveal, but
finally take a look
that
at
bit of backstory.
maybe find some things out that I need to know.
He
You always had dreams. You always had nightmares. They always followed you. Everywhere you went. Do you still have them?
From time to time, there's still the hound. Still have nightmares about the hound.
Hounds.
To your friends, no?
The dog. That's right, the hound of Ill-Omen.
Dogs?
I've
Hounds?
gotten kind of used to the night screaming.
When he was a boy, I'd have to lock him down in the cellar so that he would stop screaming, so I could get a good night's sleep.
Ooh, Sebastian stories.
Yeah, they're not good. No, nothing. No, there's no fun childhood stories here.
It's strange. That's why we didn't stay in the old house.
I can't go near the old house.
Why?
Oh, you sold it.
No one would buy it. It was a shame.
Oh, that's
Your
a
mother
loss.
paid a fortune for it.
Uh-oh.
But we never lived there again. We got a new home. Shall we finish up the round then?
Yeah, let's do that.
I have so many more questions than when I arrived at this table.
Well, ask away. It's been a while, Vale.
Yeah. Well, locking in the basement for one thing. That's a bit harsh.
We did it because the first time it happened, all the glass in the house broke with his screams.
Okay, well, I mean, I could see why he would do that.
Yeah, that's
so,
understandable.
yeah,
that's totally fair
I
that you
get
lock him in
that.
the basement.
There were a few incidents in my younger days.
It does not surprise me.
Young incidents from young Sebastian having incidents?
They were way worse than the
Did I,
incidents I had.
by the way,
Huh.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm
yes.
trying to watch
Uh-huh.
live, though I
We
won't
don't
be
talk about them, though.
streaming
We don't
live.
talk.
My reactions to the 13th
Why won't you go
episode
near the
of
old house?
Critical Role's
Like,
Campaign
it's a
3.
perfectly good house, is it
Let's
not?
I just
finish up
think
the
it's
rounds.
because
Maybe we could
Because Lana and that is also a science
find a
sorcerer,
way
and I
to
can't wait for her to
sell
get
it
her little
if we
dog.
move it.
He,
I
Get some
think
money back.
he
in the-
turns.
You know what?
He just turns.
Man, I might be able to look it up. What
He lives
that
really close.
they get?
I also
That's what's got the hound on.
It reminded me of his mother.
Oh.
I mean, she bought the house, so that doesn't surprise me, but doesn't mean you can't
I
sell
live
it.
on the new place is on the other side of town. Let's go.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about this, guys. Well, let's move along.
Finish your drink, Sebastian.
Yes, sir.
He knocks his drink back,
Can I get some stew to go? Okay, thank you.
and he leads you through the Pluto. What do you think?
Man, you never told me your dad was so cool.
He's all right. There's a lot of history. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a good guy.
Papa Carrot Top has the best stories. That's all
Yeah, I
I'm
want to hear
saying.
some embarrassing Sebastian stories.
He laughs and says, "I'll try and think of one. I haven't seen him in many years, but there's quite a few. He might. You're not going to burn me alive though if I tell him."
No, Dad.
Did you
Remember
actually
that
try-
time when we got caught for putting our hand in the thing?
Okay.
Good times.
You started a warehouse fire in the South Ward. And the two of you were breaking in, trying to steal from the warehouses in the South Ward. What were you in there after, anyways?
Some fish.
Yikes.
It was just a bit of fun, Dad. It's just kid stuff.
He leads you up around the road past his shop, the old blacksmith. It's the chimneyed shop that you recognize from your youth that has the old sign, Crow and Son Smithy. And he leads you to the other side of Emberwood Village, across the pond, far away from the old house. In fact, the way that it goes around the forests and the trees of Emberwood Village, it
Okay, so
is
it's
the
level
one spot in the village where you absolutely cannot see the high steeples of that old manor house. And as you come up to the house, that you remember growing up in, maybe for the last 5 years, a rather large addition has been built onto it. And all the lights are on inside the home. And as you walk up the laneway towards the house, the front door bursts open and 3 red-haired children come running out towards Tobias.
You never told me you're an uncle.
I think those might be his siblings
think
there,
I have-
Pluto.
Who are these people?
They come up. There's a boy and 2 young girls. The boy,
I did not expect this.
it's this pretty much the spitting image of their father. They are all red-haired. And
I guess it's not
the boy
racist
looks
to
like
fight
he
in
might
that
be about
their world.
12 years old, but he's already tall and lanky and almost as tall as getting like a very awkwardly tall 12-year-old. And the girls look like they might be about 6 and 8. And as they rush forward, he picks up the children and he turns and says, he says, the children are already asking, Father, who have you brought as a guest? And he turns to them and says, well, this is your older brother, Sebastian. Sebastian, I'd like you to meet Peter, Emma, and Sybil.
Pleasure
And-
to meet you, Sebastian Crow.
I think you know the
Hero.
And as they turn, a blonde hair, an older-looking, fair, blonde-haired woman steps in the doorway. He says, "This is my wife, Moira."
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh boy.
It's very nice to meet you. I'm Sebastian Crow. Maybe you've heard of me.
The children come up and they say, Dad said that you were at the academy.
That's right.
Is that true?
Yeah.
And one of the other children goes up to Veo and starts like saying, "Is that a crossbow?"
Oh yeah, baby carrot is my favorite weapon.
And one of the 8-year-old goes up to Pluto and says, "Did my dad make that sword?"
You wish.
She kind of like pouts a little bit back at you, and the Tobias turns to Moira and says, he kind of shrugs a little bit and says, "I said they could stay with us for the night at least." And she says, "Well," she says, "you're more than welcome to stay. There's not going to be much privacy, though, for you. The children are going to be far too fascinated by the three of you."
That's all right. And I give the little one a piggyback, and I start walking. I'm like, look at, they're so tiny.
I mean,
I'm
honestly-
gonna make the little kid carry my sword.
he takes the boy, Peter. You can see he's the clear signs that he's already been working the forge. Like he sees the blade and is like, yeah. He says, "Dad, I think you've got to make him a new sword."
Yeah, I mean, this is some fine Caspian steel, but I'm always looking for an upgrade.
And
Never-
he brings you into the home, and
Turn it down.
you can see that at one point this house probably was just one room, and but it's well appointed. The inside the inside has been plastered and the outside has been wet washed, and the thatch roof that you remember growing up has been replaced by slate shingles. The yard is all fenced in, and it looks like a barn has been built out around the side. And it looks like there might be, there's a large common room inside. It's cozy, well appointed, with a large hearth in the center and all their provisions in a pantry off to the side, and what looks like a master bedroom for your father and his new wife, and a room for the children. And as you come in, Moira starts tidying things up around the house, around, and says, "We'll fetch out some blankets and some straw. We won't have you sleep in the barn. You can sleep here in the common room, and hopefully the kids will let you have a good night's sleep." As you come into the house, and all the kids are immediately all over you and said, "Have you gone into the city?" They ask, and one of the girls says, "Have you killed any monsters?"
Let me tell you the tale, and I just kind of like walk away with her. Like,
And she hangs on to every word you say with rapt attention.
oh, it's great to have an audience.
I know, this is really cool.
I turn to the other two and I say, "Do you want to play tag?" And I tap my shoulder and I go, "Zephyr Strike," and I run out the door. And all you hear is like,
And the younger one says, "That's no fair. I could never catch cats."
and I stop at
Yeah.
the front door and I say, "You're right. This is, a little bit unfair. I will walk slowly." And even with Zephyr Strike, I'm still running around really quickly.
There's a general air of merriment as both Veo and Pluto play with your younger siblings, who ironically seem to be more interested in the two of them than you, Sebastian. But after a few moments
We're
of
pretty cool.
hearing the stories, it seems like that your father is kind of occupying most of your attention. As he says, he just asks, I hope everything will be fine for you to stay. The kids all share your old room, Sebastian. So
That's fine. I'm pretty excited that I'm not an only child. I had no idea, and is it okay if I like visit?
he looks and says, "Yes. You have a place? I mean, if you want a bit more privacy, I can talk to a few friends, and you might be able to stay in one of their houses." But and Moira says, "That's ridiculous. This is your son and his friends. They can stay with us as long as they need to."
Okay.
Thank you.
Says,
I've been sleeping at the Ackerman Mill
Mm-hmm.
lately.
They turn to each other and says, "That place is still standing."
Kind of.
Yeah.
They look a little bit horrified. The Eckermans, they moved on a long time ago. For us, it's we're lucky. Your father says,
Ooh.
turning to address all of you. It was very hard after you left, after the meteor fell. But a blacksmith makes a lot of money in war. I moved around a lot. I left Emberwood Village for a few years. And I met Moira. And we started a new family. I figured it had been so long since I lost your mother, and that you were gone. I might as well try to start over.
I can't blame you for that. That makes sense.
You're not mad.
No, I'm not mad. I just...
He gives you a big hug.
Oh. I just have a big Cheshire grin cat on my face.
Sebastian finishes hugging him and says, I'm not crying, you're crying.
And I am crying.
And then, kind of turns his back on the situation and,
So sweet.
quickly wipes away some tears and turns back around. He's like, anyway, good to see you.
Yeah. He
You guys have great great banter.
he
Should ask your
I'm
the
still
night passes with
processing.
it with a few more stories and a little bit more catching up. At one point, Tobias turns to you, Pluto, and says,
Ooh.
"That Caspian steel, I'm sorry to say, but it's garbage."
Well, you should be sorry to say that. That's not very nice.
I think you should come around the shop. You guys are going into the city in search of all those them weird stones, aren't you?
Oh yeah, the shinies.
I need to fund my new expedition. And so I need some, if you can assist.
But have you brought back any of the iron from the meteor?
What?
I think that's the piece we left.
A few people have been bringing it back. The
I
iron.
deliberately chopped it all off.
I've been working on a few bits using the iron from it. And it heats up real hot. And it forges harder than anything else on this planet. Anything else in the area that I've ever seen.
Okay,
No
now
one knows this yet, but the iron from the meteor might be just as valuable as that delirium stuff.
Back to the rat's nest.
Imagine all the fish.
I'll try to ignore your slights against my people's goods, but you could make something better than this.
No offense, but Caspians don't know hammers from their arse.
I mean, I think about a time when I saw someone hammer their arse, and I'm like, yeah,
I'll give you that. They put some nice gold and silver filigree on their armor, but take all the fancy trappings off it. What do you got after that?
me.
Exactly.
I think you've been
I
insulted.
mean, I could always go for a new sort of shell. I can always be upgraded, and again, I'm politely absorbing your blows against my people. But I can see that you're a big brawny man, and I would love to see some of your work. And I think I can put aside my pride to delve into more luxurious and more powerful items.
All right, so be it then. As the night begins to wind down and the children are put to bed, far later than they would normally be going to sleep, they take a very long interest in all three of you and are eager to play tag with Veo or ask about tales of monsters. And eventually the three of them come around to you, Sebastian, they say, "So Dad said that you're a mage."
You want to see something cool?
No fire.
Sure.
I cast Mage Hand. And
Good
just start
choice.
flying the hand around and picking up objects and moving them around.
Please,
the room.
The makeshift hand, as it begins picking things up, the kids begin giggling and laughing, and they pick up one of the chicken bones left over from supper and say, "Can it catch?"
Yep.
And they throw it, and you grab it with the mage hand in midair. You have any more tricks?
Oh boy. I cast Minor Illusion, and I make. Oh man. I make.
Make a troll.
I can't make a troll.
Oh.
I make a bunch of like butterflies flying around the room.
And I start to chase them.
They giggle and laugh and chase the butterflies with Veo. Eventually, the evening calms down with a display of magic, much laughter, a few more drinks, some food. The children are asleep, and Tobias and Moyara have to carry them into their beds. And Tobias turns around and says, "It's good to see you, boy."
It's good to see you too, Dad.
He says, "It's good to have another happy memory instead of a sad one.
I agree.
Have a good night."
Good night.
Man, I really should have come back here like sooner without Sebastian. Maybe I could have like had so much fun.
So much meals.
Oh.
You could have been fed for years.
Well, teach me next time.
Yeah, why were you ignoring it, Sebastian?
Don't worry about it. I just there's a lot of stuff that's happened with me and my dad, and I know he's a good man. It's tough sometimes. I don't know. I didn't know how he would take seeing me again. I didn't know if it'd be okay. I didn't know what he was expecting from me. This went a lot better than I expected, and I have brothers and sisters. That's crazy.
No, it's not, because he remarried and had children with her.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that crazy.
Okay.
I haven't
Thanks.
think about these.
Thank you.
You know,
You're always
parental
so,
expectations, food. Parental expectations, food. I would have come back years ago.
Yeah,
You're still on the sign.
Okay, what's happened has happened. I'm back now, and we all got fed, and we have a place to stay, and we have a place to sleep in Emberwood Village.
This is
that
awesome.
doesn't cost us
Yeah,
money,
That's true.
and actually gives us free food.
Yes. I am all for it. And your dad is such a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know? As long as we don't steal anything around him, then we're good, right?
He doesn't need to know about. Oh God, I lied to him.
Oh,
Could you lie to such a good-hearted man?
why would you do that?
I didn't want him to know what actually happened. I told him I graduated from the academy.
It's true. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, and does he think you just graduated yesterday?
I mean, maybe. I kind of just left that one there, and we'll come back to that later.
He doesn't have to know.
Yeah, we'll let him have a happy memory instead of, oh, your son got kicked out for never mind. Anyway. Cool. Good times. I'm glad we're here.
Are we all just laying beside each other in the living room?
Yeah, so the inside of the
sleepover.
house, there's a large hearth, with a big stone
12
hearth and
episodes
chimney
away
that warms the whole house, and they keep the
hound
fires
you
and the
saw.
chimneys going most of the night because it heats the whole house. And it's a common room with a table, and Moira brought out a few blankets and a bit of straw, and kind of made some makeshift bedding for you all to sleep on. So it's not uncomfortable, but it's not like a feather bed, right? And so it's about the equivalent of camping, of a sleepover party.
I call right by the fire, and I do a belly flop right into the hay right by the fire.
Because the whole house only has 4 rooms. There's a pantry, the 2 bedrooms, and the common room, and then there's the barn. So, and it's definitely one of the nicer homes in Emberwood Village. aside from some of the manor houses that are around. Right? Your dad's done okay for himself.
Thanks to both of you guys for, I don't know, getting me here and being with me for this. I don't think I could have done this without you. Oh, I've never said that out loud before. Thanks, guys.
I was half asleep, so what?
Nothing, Pluto. Don't worry about it.
I'm nocturnal, so you can talk to me
Thanks, man.
anytime.
Yeah, I'm glad I have you around.
Yeah, glad to be around.
Old friends and new family. It's been an interesting little while in Drakkenheim so far. What's our next move?
It's a good thought. I never thought past eating warm meals at your parents' house.
I mean, we're going to be finishing up this job with River soon, and we have so many leads to go on. We have the what is it? The Queen's Park. There's the Eldritch Lilies, but
We
I don't know.
got some jobs for Oscar.
getting into the city seems problematic. The haze is heavier in there.
Well, speaking of needing friends, I got something we could do. So remember how I used to go into the city a lot? Yeah. I actually used to have this awesome hideout that I got kicked out of.
You have a family too?
No. My father's somewhere. But I have a place that I could stay.
But
If-
Does
haze?
everybody have houses in
It's
Drakkenheim?
It's actually above the haze, which is amazing, which is why
a flying castle? Are you kidding?
I'm not that rich.
Oh,
No. The clock tower that you see?
Mhm.
yeah.
That's actually my hideout and my place, but
Hmm.
kind of got kicked out by herpes. And
Kicked out
You
by-
mumbled that last part.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't quite hear it.
harpies. I got kicked out by harpies. The irony is not lost on me. So, if we can make it into the city, we can't stay in there very long, but if we could hang out in my clock tower, it might be a little bit easier. We might be able to stay in and be there a little bit longer. So
You can
it's
always pick out the
worthwhile
harpies.
if
You
you
can
could
use
help
it
me
as a
get
staging ground.
my loft back.
Like a base of operations in the city.
Yeah.
We could.
Interesting.
Interesting. But in order to do that, we'll have to get through one of the gates.
Easy as pie. We can do that, no problem. But if you promise to help me get my hideout back from these darn harpies, then I would say we could call it a base.
So we have a potential base. We have the Eldritch Lilies from Queen's Park. We have to deal with a gate. Sounds like we have lots to do on our list.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll help you get your base back because, hanging out in a clock tower seems pretty sweet. And having a base of operations inside the city just means that we can hole up there. We can prepare. We can practice new spells.
Well, okay,
Oh,
we're going to hold off on that because I don't want you to burn down the clock tower.
Yeah, that's key to that.
But we can definitely keep some stuff there for sure.
yeah.
Veo, if you can get me into the city, I will help reclaim your lost tower.
What do you think I'm here for? I can get you into the city, hopefully. I can
Wait,
get
you keep saying there's
can
like a
get you
little
in,
bit like a
hopefully.
tag on. What was that last part?
I'll get you in, hopefully.
Yeah, you keep what?
How do you plan on getting into the city?
I got a couple different ways we can try. I used to go in the sewers, and that was kind of an easy way in. So, that would be, it's not the easiest way, but it's a way.
We also do have an inn with the hooded lanterns. Now, by an
Mhm.
inn, I mean we did save one of them. We also saved a group of the those falling fire pilgrims.
Yeah. That
Uh,
call.
Wouldn't rely on those nuts too much, though.
They aren't necessarily nuts. They might be, but they know a lot about the meteor.
We
and
could use one of them. We could use them just to get through, right?
I want to talk to them.
I
I want to know what they're up to.
feel like
Don't believe. Did you take a pamphlet? I rip the pamphlet out of your bag. What have you been reading?
I just took a few. Just,
You've even highlighted parts.
I highlighted the parts that have to do with the crater. I'm interested. I'm an interested party.
I've got one more way potentially we could get in the city. I mean, this is not the most recommended way, but it is a way. Which is over the wall.
Okay.
And I said before that we shouldn't go over the wall. But we could.
So the sewers, the gates, or over the wall. Honestly, how bold are you guys feeling?
Nope.
I mean, the obvious choice here would be to go the easiest way, which would be probably through the gate with the hooded lanterns.
It would be easiest. I don't know how much my pride of going to those guys would help me any, but...
I mean, there is also the gate that's... isn't that where the gnolls were coming from? There's a gate run by gnolls? Although that seems dangerous.
If you want to take a look at your map, let's pull that up so everyone can see. You'll notice that
The tower. Okay, that's her clock tower.
the market gate, the
Number
shepherd's gate, is number 5. Number 1 is the market gate. Number 2 is the castle gate, and number 4 is the temple gate. And those 3 gates are currently occupied, apparently by various types of monsters. But number 5, which is the Shepherd's Gate, is held by the Hooded Lanterns because that's where they keep the old City Watch barracks. And gate number 3, according to rumor, is held by the followers of the Falling Fire as the entrance by which they're using to get into the south ward of the city. So that the pilgrims can then get to St. Selena's Abbey, which they're using as their sanctuary.
Is Veo relaying this information, or do we actually own a map of Drakkenheim?
You did recover a map of Drakkenheim earlier, and I think it's fair to say that all of you have a sense of the city, with the knowledge that things might not be quite as you remember, given it's been a long time, and there's certainly ruins and collapsed buildings on the inside.
Well, your clock tower, number 12, by the looks of it, the easiest way, we're down Champion's Way right now. If we head up through Champion's Gate, which is run by the Falling Fire guys, then we can just go through the South Ward. We'll go right near the Great Crater, which seems maybe a little problematic, but then we can just cut across the bridge up to the clock tower.
I'd say the haze would be pretty strong there. So
we'll be fast. It's the
I just
fastest
remember
way.
hazing.
we'll be fast. I look over at Pluto.
You up for a jog through some haze?
I'm worried that you're gonna fall to this cult. Like, I feel like you're too.
Don't. I'm
You're
interested.
too close to it.
I'm interested in the crater, and so are they. We have a common interest. That's all it is.
It's just like, this is exactly how they recruit people. Like, this is.
I'm
so worried.
I'm not going to start shaving my head.
You're going to shave your head. You're going to get these weird tattoos.
If I start down that path, you have permission to punch me in the face.
Full strength.
Full strength. You know how much I like my face.
What gate were the lanterns at again?
They're at the Shepherd's Gate, which is
yeah.
marked by 5 on your map.
Yeah, that's a long trek. We could make it there in just a short time if we just.
But that is.
I would say both are equal distance, especially if we go through the market
that
square.
way's definitely the safer way to stay away from the haze. Right?
Vale, you do know that the South Ward and the crater is by far next to the area around the castle are the most dangerous areas of the city.
Yeah, we definitely want to avoid that great crater,
like that
until we
crater's-
figure out what the haze is all about.
It's turning people, like they're willing to follow like these bald people into death. Like that. There's no way that's.
Okay. Well, since Veo's telling me that it's the most dangerous part of the city, I didn't know that. I just thought it was a cool crater that we could go look at.
You
because...
wanted to go and join them.
Not join them. Okay. Let's take the long way. I mean, all
I
we
don't
have
want
is
any
time.
temptation. I don't want to give you any.
I mean, time is on our side. It's not like we have to worry too much about
Oh, we'll have
other
to cross
jobs.
the river with sticks again.
This might be my biggest regret, but what are the sewers like?
dirty.
We've been in there. That's where we lost rat food.
They're dirty, but
I don't
not
want to go back.
not
But is that-
untrekkable.
I thought
Is
the
it safer than
Raphael's
the
guide.
Champion's Way?
Oh, I always
In
thought
in
he was
your
a sewer somewhere
professional-
else.
Well, the Champions Way would be
so,
one of the most
like,
dangerous,
like,
not just because, but how close we get to the crater. So I would avoid that way if possible.
Do the sewers cross the river, or would we have to still deal with the river?
The sewers don't go under the river. At least if they did, that would be completely shocking. The sewers generally empty in the river.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
The only, aside from access points that would be inside the city, Veo, you passed by an entrance to the sewer when you passed by near Styx's Ferry.
Mm.
You remember seeing a few entrances there that were kind of exit points for the sewer, because remember the river flows to the south. So the area around where Styx has his ferry is where a lot of the sewers drain out.
I did, when we were crossing the river, I saw a group of very large turtles go into the sewer right near where Styx was, meaning that there's got to be a way in right around there.
That's true. Yeah.
We can hope that the turtles are friendly.
I mean, I doubt it, but I mean, I feel like together we could really take on anything. We're a pretty strong group together.
Yeah, we haven't almost died.
Several times.
Several times.
So
Nah.
I think what I'm hearing is that the sewers sound like an interesting possibility as a way of getting inside the city,
Definitely.
as opposed to negotiating with anybody to get through the gates.
I would say if the sewers don't work out, we can always try the lanterns. They would
'Cause
be
the
kind of my number
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
The sewers seem to be our best like free option.
Yeah.
Whereas these other ones we might have to cut deals. But that being said, Pluto's a little hesitant to
Go tracking back. into the
especially if I'm
sewers.
gonna work on getting new armor and I'm gonna get all dirty and
You're gonna get dirty regardless.
I'm gonna get
We're
dirty
in
and no one's gonna
Drakkenheim.
think I'm a prince anymore. And it's gonna
You're a prince?
bum me out. Yeah.
I forget that all. I thought you were a monster hunter. Which is it?
Can it be? they're mutually
Which is
exclusive.
it, Pluto?
I could be both. I could be royalty and kill things.
Yeah, I'm messing with you.
There's little royalty acknowledged in Drakkenheim anyways, so
Yeah,
there's not much
your
use looking
royalty
like a
means-
prince. It's more
kinda what I'm
more puts you
working
on a
on.
target for especially the thieves around here. I wouldn't worry about looking too princely.
Where are we supposed to meet River?
She said that she would contact you.
Okay,
We could also talk to Aldor and see if he has any
right.
ideas on
Shopping.
if he's got like a maybe like a he's heard of a way in that maybe we could leverage maybe on the last group he sent to their demise, which I'm not afraid of.
We could ask him, but I don't know how he's gonna know anything other than what we've talked about. But he may know something that I don't.
I think our best options is look at the sewers, and if that doesn't work, we go with the hooded lanterns. And I mean, honestly, keep your eyes and ears open for other suggestions. We're in Emberwood Village. There's a lot of people around here. If you hear any whispers or anything of people knowing a good way into the city, I guess we'll be open.
Maybe you guys just get some rope and pull me over the wall.
Ooh. Remember, the higher you go up, the harpies. Yeah, we're trying to avoid getting into scuffles with them until we get to the tower.
Okay.
Then you pull out the big guns.
I'm the big gun.
You are.
Yeah.
An impressive show of muscle. With that, you continue to talk into the wee hours of the night before setting down to rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest.
In the morning, you wake to the smell of Moira cooking what smells like probably bacon and some bread.
She's
And
cooking bread.
yeah, making bread, bacon bread.
Are we sure we
Making
don't
some
want to
bacon.
stay here for a long time?
And you take breakfast with your family. It's a nice, wholesome, complete breakfast with a smiling nuclear family. And there's strange guests.
This is probably like the happiest breakfast I think Sebastian's ever had, because he's never had a breakfast with his dad that wasn't kind of sad because there was an empty seat at the table every single time that they would have breakfast. There was always a third chair, and there was never anything set up, and it was always uncomfortable.
Yep. Now it is a full table with two. The children actually have to share stools, and the 6-year-old, the youngest Sybil, has to sit on your father's lap for breakfast because they don't have enough chairs for everyone to sit around and eat. But you'll take a simple breakfast with bread and butter and some bacon. And Tobias says, Peter, we're gonna have another busy day at the shop. Let's head in. Do you want to come down with us and you can see some of the things? All right.
I'm so excited too. I'm like, I have a little hop in my step. I'm like,
Cool.
and then I run after Peter.
He leads you down to the blacksmith shop, and the rest of you follow.
Yeah.
Bye, little carrots. I'll see you soon.
They wave goodbye.
Okay.
And they're like, bring us some treasure next time.
Finding them gifts. It's a new mission.
Bring them to
And
Miriam.
you head down to
And you cannot refuse.
Here, touch this.
to Crow and Son, and you do realize the one thing that kind of gets you, Sebastian, is that Peter goes is a complete natural in the shop. As the shop opens up, Peter's already firing up the forge, getting everything going. You can see, although he's lanky, he's getting some good muscle on himself. He's already developing the skills of a smith at 12, and as your father starts talking to Paluto about some of the wares that he has, you kind of quietly see Peter's already showing things around. He turns to you and he asks, "Did Dad ever show you around the shop?"
I'm actually imagining this awkward moment where, out of habit, when we first walk up, I reach for the hammer, and he grabs it first.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Oh right, I don't do this anymore."
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like, yeah. Back in the day, he tried to make me into a smith, but I was good at starting fires, not really controlling them or using them to accomplish anything.
Peter turns to you and says, "You're lucky, I guess. You've already got to see the world."
A little bit of it, not very many great places, mostly the dark and scary places of the world.
That sounds a lot more exciting than here.
It's a lot more dangerous, and you're going to have a lot of great memories that I think you should hold on to while you're here in this town.
He nods and kind of continues on with the work, and he asks you a few questions as he sets things up, and kind of asking what you remember of the shop, what have you been doing, what kind of the standard awkward, really awkward brothers meeting for the first time conversation. Meanwhile, Tobias says,
those go.
Oh yeah, classic.
he brings you up and he kind of rolls up over to one of his armor stands where you can see he's got a few suits of scale mail armor.
Mhm.
He says, "All right, don't even bother putting on that chainmail this morning. Let's get you fitted out with something much better."
I can't. It's so hard to admit that it's so much better than my armor.
Says, "Now, you're my lad's friend, but I still have to make ends meet. Can we say, can you make 150?
Sir, I'd be honored to wear this luxurious, and it's like well done, right? Like
It's really well made. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like drooling.
It's a well-made
I feel like
suit
I'm
of
getting like the employee discount.
scale mail.
Yeah.
And
Friends and family.
it's not shiny by any means. It's kind of like this dull gray metal. And he says, "I make practical armor. It won't look bad when it gets dirty."
Challenge accepted.
Stay away. But because I made it, I know how to repair it. So if it does take any damage or any hits, I'll give you the warranty. You're accident insured. We'll fix it up.
And you're just throwing that in.
It's the friends and family discount.
Oh,
It's the least
wow.
I can
Did
do.
you go?
Oh,
Yes.
I bow to this green man. Just I'm trying to be as regal as I can because I know good armor. Yeah, and I can tell I'm gonna really enjoy putting the miles on this bad boy.
Alrighty.
I'm just like mental picture of this moment to remember when you bowed to someone. Cemented.
I see you looking, and I stand up. Stand
I'm
up.
trying to
super
get
quick.
you to bow to me for months.
Yeah, but you weren't like you're cool dad. You're just you.
We'll just have to make sure he ends up as your servant at one point again in a situation.
Oh yeah. Next time that you play my servant, I'm making you bow.
I got one more thing before we go. And I walk outside and I kind of hop up and grab the sign and I carve, using one of my scimitars, an S at the end of sun. Because, well, now we got two suns. And I let go. I'd be like, there, it's updated. Might want to change some branding everywhere else to reflect the amount of suns that you have.
Did you just damage?
Are you
sun?
vandalizing the sun? You've been here for 5 minutes.
Tobias smiles and says, "Thank you," and says it's a nice touch, Mayo. The two of you can kind of see he's kind of like, "Why did she have to carve that into the
Couldn't
sign?"
have just even
but
asked
he's
her.
like, he understands the gesture.
But it's like a wicked, like, bad S. Like,
That's
he
what-
probably could have done it much nicer than me if I just told him, but it's in there now.
I as you like hop back down. I'm like, do you have any idea how much those signs cost?
Nope.
You just walk over.
I did a good thing.
As you climb up, you can see it looks like there's quite a big commotion back at the square.
Oh.
And you can see what looks like a troop,
With the
maybe
Union family,
about
I could understand
30
why the episode is called
soldiers,
Counting Crows.
complete with banners, mustering up in the center of town.
Dad, I'm gonna go check something out.
And Veo's just like, ugh, we could have avoided. All right, let's go.
No, we're just gonna go look. I want to see what's happening over here.
I want to stay close to the back against the walls to be like, go ahead, go ahead.
Pluto, are you coming with me, or
I'm admiring my new armor.
cool.
Is it super special?
It's really comfy, but it is regular scale now.
Okay.
Effectively, yeah.
I,
It's very comfortable. And Pluto, as you all walk up to see, you can see this large assembly of several soldiers. They have blue and white banners, colors that you haven't seen in this area before. And Pluto, you're still admiring all your armor, so you don't quite pay attention. But as soon as you see these colors,
Caspian?
you recognize that these are Caspian banners.
Who are these dumb banners? Like, what are
Hey.
these?
Hold your tongue.
I can't. What? Why?
And you
I
can
don't know,
see
just do it.
see that there's about The whole group of them are all assembling in town. Several of them are on horseback. They've got about a dozen horses with them. And it looks like a troop of about 24 men at arms, equipped in mostly chainmail armor with weapons and shields, all with this Caspian livery emblazoned on them. And then there's a small contingent of what look like a few porters and other laborers. And up around the head of the troop, started looking like they're addressing or inspecting the group, is a very large half-orc clad in full plate armor, and a very, very short gnome that is wearing very frilled, puffy blue. He's kind of got those big puffy pants and the big puffy arms on his jerkin, and he's got the big frilled bit around him, and he's carrying a lute as well as a flute. And
Lutes and flutes.
yeah, a lute and a flute. And at the center of them is, clad in what looks like glittering mithril armor, chainmail, is a familiar face.
Are all the visors down, or can
Most
I see,
of them,
I
their
can see his
visors
fi-
are
I can
down.
see
And
his-
as you come into the
oh, guys, these are
square,
reinforcements. They're probably going to be here to.
the
Friends of yours?
yeah, they're
the
probably.
man in the glittering chainmail pulls off his helmet,
Uh-oh.
and you can see his square jaw and finely coiffed features and hair. This jet black hair that kind of is in a little bit of a curl, and these perfectly, almost like painted on eyebrows, and completely well shaven, and you can smell the perfume on him. And he said, and as you come into the square, he immediately catches sight of you, Pluto. And he lets out a very loud laugh. And I just have to check my notes.
Is he taller and bigger than Pluto?
No,
Okay.
he's not. He is taller than Pluto, but where Pluto is like hard muscle, this guy is lithe sinew, right? And you can see that he is definitely looks quite a bit more charming than Pluto does. But as he comes up, he says, "As I live and breathe, the mighty Pluto Jackson, here in this seedy little fly-spit town. What are you doing here, Prince Jackson?"
Lord Jones.
And who's this? You're hanging out with a mangy cat and an orange-haired cur.
Well,
Hey.
I was going to say meow, but then he opened his mouth.
My name's Sebastian Crow,
Mm.
and I don't have anything else to say right now.
What do you want,
Oh man,
Jones?
Prince Jackson, is this your entourage?
These are my comrades, Veo and Sebastian.
Comrades.
Capable fighters.
Word was in Caspia that you set out for Drakkenheim with a troop of 100 men. Did they all die, or did you run out of money to pay them?
They're around here somewhere.
I thought they all.
One thing I've learned is that corpses don't actually rot. So technically, Jones, they're around.
That's Lord Jupiter Jones, if you please.
Jupiter.
Lord Jupiter Jones. What are you doing here? I'm supposed to be here alone in Drakkenheim. What are you showing off with all this
I
fancy
assume the
stuff?
same thing that you are. The kingdom of Westamar, though it's fallen, owes Caspia a great debt, and me and my house have come to collect and restore the honor and due of Caspia, seeing as you've been busy gallivanting around with stray cats and strange wizards.
You watch your
Sorcerer.
tone.
He killed a troll.
I killed a troll.
He killed
I've
a troll.
killed 3.
Oh,
Damn, he's so right.
yeah.
He beat you.
Yeah, he's
There.
killed 3, and I saw it, and it was so cool.
Well,
He
is.
fell in a pit of rats and survived.
I fell in a pit of scorpions and survived.
Remember, he is
He's so
named after a real planet, so.
No!
Uh,
And he
You're not even.
and and Pluto is a real
Even
prince.
a planet.
Some argue against. Shut up.
Oh.
Look, Lord Jones, Emberwood
What?
Village is. You can stay anywhere. Why are you here? You could go anywhere.
Well, I figured I would come and see if the burgomaster could put me and my men up while we're on our expedition to the inner city to recover what is rightfully the property of Caspia.
Burgers.
That property is mine to claim. Burgers. Burger Master.
We're here for 1,000 burgers.
That's a lot of burgers.
Yeah.
I'll take
No,
that.
we're not actually, but
Oh.
but the food is all right.
And who are you with, Jones? Who's this frilly little man?
That is my herald. And he introduces himself. And he speaks in this little gnome with his bleach blonde hair. And, like, his eyebrows are almost 3 inches long. They've kind of been pulled up. And he has eyelash extensions as well. So his hair is gelled up, bleach blonde. His eyebrows are extended, and they go way too far. And his eyelashes are. It says, I am the great artiste of Caspia. Yes, Leamington Whithalf at your service.
How does it say
I
his
am
name
here
is
to
Harold?
catalog the great
Whit-
exploits
Ah.
of Lord Jupiter Jones and make sure that all of Caspia hears tales of how he has conquered the ruins of Drakkenheim.
Well, for sure, my herald's not dead, and he's right here. This is.
Yo,
So he wears many hats.
Sebastian Crow, more charming than you, and I am his herald, and I'm here to write about all of his exploits and how he's going to reclaim Drakkenheim. So, what up?
Tell him about the rat's nest.
The rat's nest. Let me tell you, friend Leamington. We went into a den full of rats, and we came out
Yeah.
with some cool stuff, and there were no rats left.
And our lives.
And so you mean to tell me that you've been poking around the bones on the outskirts of the city and haven't even delved deeper into where the real prize is?
We've done lots. We actually we were just in the heart of the city, and we
mhm.
fought a
We
Oh.
I mean,
there was a dragon.
dogs. We killed dogs.
Oh,
I was going to say no.
oh boy, I went way overboard.
Yeah.
A dragon.
A
No.
young dragon.
It was a dragon
Make a
dog.
deception check.
Disadvantage, please.
13.
What color was the dragon?
Red. Obviously,
Yeah.
And where's all its treasure?
it was outside of its lair. We're still. I mean, we know where its treasure is. We're on our way there. We just came back here for some soup.
You hear that, men? There's a dead dragon in the ruins of Drakkenheim, and its treasure hoard has been completely unclaimed.
It's actually right next to the crater.
Yeah.
You've been to the crater, have you?
Nearby, and
I've
well,
heard of this.
yeah, that's where the treasure's hoard, or the dragon's hoard
He
is.
turns to the rest of his men. Men, we shall ride into the ruins, and we shall claim this dragon's hoard in the name of Caspia.
Is this a bad thing? Am I doing a bad thing?
No.
know what?
Ludo, you're okay with
I
it?
shall
think
ride
this
swiftly,
guy
fight
needs
strongly.
some
Question,
humility.
how are you planning on getting into the city?
I have 30 men here.
Pluto had 100, and
And they're all fine. Everyone's fine. There's no if there's no follow-up questions, everyone's fine.
One of the people in the back's like, My brother was with your expedition. Do you know where he is? His wife and family miss him dearly.
What's his name?
His name was Gary Whitehorse.
Oh, Gary Whitehorse? Yeah, he's actually doing the best of all of them.
Where is he?
Oh, he's off
On patrol.
after the dragon
Go
horde.
on.
We
Simple
kind
things.
of let him do some
Simple
vacation
ones
time
make
at
the
the
better-
old Eckerman Mill.
Make a deception check.
12.
Oh, his wife will be so relieved.
You are horrible people.
And who's this quickly changing topics, and who's this glittering who's the other companion?
The half-orc.
The half-orc.
Who's
Who's this?
this? Is my man-at-arms, Bruce, Dead Dog. And he just says,
Oh,
I can
God.
respect that kind of last name.
This
Definitely.
is my cat in the bag.
I'm in a
Veo.
bag. What? I can.
Yeah, I kind of push her forward.
I can beat up some things. Yeah.
You nailed it.
comes a response. Well, I must say, Prince Jackson, I am thoroughly unimpressed with your companions.
What?
Ouch.
Well, takes one, no one, and you know what, Lord Jupiter Jones, I think that I'm not super impressed with your what's going on in this right now.
Really? How are you not impressed with my fantastic herald, my chivalrous bodyguard, this manly physique?
You know what?
That guy over there looks scared.
You haven't been properly introduced to the customs of Drakkenheim. You know, you're all way too clean looking to be here. So I go, is the ground wet because it's been raining? I pick up some mud and I throw it at the dwarf. I say, "Welcome to Drakkenheim."
The gnome?
Or the dwarf, sorry. The dwarf?
Gnome.
The gnome. Yeah, sorry.
It lands squarely in his face, and he shrieks. It's so disgusting.
Pluto, you're
As is this whole place.
10
I think
times.
there was animal droppings in it.
There most certainly was. That's a common place for the horses to go.
Probably my own too, you know.
And he starts like crying. He's like, "Are you gonna stand for that? They just insulted me and threw mud in my face."
Those are my customs, man.
And the Jupiter turns and says, "Well, your customs, madam, are barbaric and uncouth,
Oh,
and
thank
You're
you.
Caspia
barbaric.
does not approve."
Thank you. I'm
Sir,
glad.
you're barbaric and uncouth.
I try to stifle my laugh as I try to like find this middle ground. Yeah, it's kind of
Also-
barbaric and goof. Super.
I thought Caspians were supposed to be much more handsome and civilized, but you're quite pathetic to look upon you. I mean, if
How dare you, sir? How dare you even question my appearance? I'm the height of fashion in Caspia.
Oh, so it's all of Caspia that's just ridiculous except for Pluto?
Well, I thought Pluto had left Caspia with one of the finest suits of full plate armor that we had in Caspia, and I see that you've decided to dress yourself in the local style. Disgusting. I'll bet it couldn't even stop a good blade.
You know, what's great about the armor that we
Yeah,
make
I know,
here
yeah.
is that,
Yeah,
unlike
I
Caspian
know.
armor, it actually can take
You-
a few blows without breaking. Your armor looks great, but poke it with a dagger and it falls apart.
In Caspia, we say there's only one kind of blow the people of Drakkenheim are good at taking.
Oh, super.
Don't side with him.
I'm gonna put my hand on Sebastian's shoulder and I kind of ease him back because I can see he's getting into his new
Fiery.
heraldy position, and I say, Jackson, move on out. I got nothing else to say to you, Lord Jackson. Or Lord Jones. I'm Jackson. I'm Pluto Jackson. My name is Pluto Jackson, and your name is Lord Jupiter Jones. and we got nothing to say to you. We're on a mission.
I think that
you
you're the
want-
one that should
they're
step
going-
off.
Yeah.
We're using
Just let them go to the crater. You've already duped the dupe.
this square as a mustering zone,
Sorry.
and we need all the resources
I'm
of this village
sorry.
to fuel our expedition.
And if that starts
This is
saying I am
neutral
proud.
ground. Obviously, you don't know enough about Drakkenheim to know that nobody takes up ground in this part of the city. Nobody.
Yes, and you might need to learn the value of a gold coin or two, miss.
Who cares about gold? As long as I can get some food.
The people are like, we do.
Just staring at each other.
When are we gonna get paid, sir? Shut up. You'll get paid when we come back with gold.
So wait, we want you to leave. You want us to leave.
Look,
We both leave
you know what?
in different directions
You know,
now.
friends, we don't have to waste our time with this oaf. Come on, gang.
Yeah.
We got places to go. You can have the courtyard. We've got more important business to take care of.
Yeah. We don't give a flying
Jones.
fish about what you're doing in this village. We have things to do. Let's be off, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I start walking away.
As I turn to walk away, I turn back around and I'm like, also, you might want to check your shoulder there. It looks like you have a friend. And I cast Minor Illusion to have a tarantula crawling on his armor.
Onto Jupiter.
Yeah.
Fail.
He sees it and goes, "Ah!" and he brushes it away. He brushes it away with, and as his hand moves through it, he sees it's like black magic trying to scare me. But it looks like most of his men already saw the horrified expression that he had for a split second before he realized it was an illusion.
I wink. And then I walk away with these guys. There you go, bud.
Thanks, gang.
Named after a real planet.
Guys, I hate that. I hate that Lord Jupiter Jones. He's always one-upping me.
Why don't we one-up him?
Well, I would have, but I'm gonna be frank with you. Everybody's dead.
Yeah, we know. You.
Oh, okay.
Definitely knew that.
That's,
okay,
That's
okay.
why I joined you.
Yeah, he's just he gets on my nerves, and
I wonder why.
I mean, he always just knows how to get under my skin, and if you think I'm a pompous buffoon,
I do.
he's 10 times worse than I am.
I've noticed.
So, I mean, if anything, comparatively, I'm actually pretty good.
Surprisingly.
Pluto, don't worry. I mean, you're like the cream of the crop, and he's just, sour milk. So
Oh, thanks, guys.
don't worry about it. He's just got a nasty personality.
So your personality is like the best that Caspia has to offer?
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
probably.
Were you like picked on for being the nicest guy?
Yeah, I probably had like this. No, maybe. Look, I just got to kill something to get my mind off it, and I just start. I do like the kid walk where I'm kicking dirt and I'm swinging my sword at the ground. Like I just want to kill something. I just want to murder, kill Noel, stupid Jones.
We'll find a monster for you to kill. Don't worry. There's plenty coming up.
I want to kill it now.
Save it for the harpies. Save it for the harpies.
I want to say a big thank you to Axe and Shield for providing us with the awesome gaming accessories we use, and to Tabletop Audio for the great ambient music you're hearing. And finally, 100 Years Bore for the amazing narration in our introduction video. And if you're enjoying the stream and want to help support our work, check out our Patreon. You can find it by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
And thank you all so much for joining us and bearing with us as we continue to have these audio issues. We are going to keep working on it and try and do better each week.
I didn't notice anything.
But we hope that you still are able to enjoy our lovely voices. Thank you very much for bearing with us again. So before we went on the break, you had just had an encounter with another Caspian adventurer, the Lord Jupiter Jones. Having stepped away from that interaction, you've now decided to do what?
I think, it's already getting a little later in the day. I say that we spend one more night in Emberwood Village, and first thing in the morning we set out for Drakkenheim by whatever path seems best, whether that's the sewers or through the gate up.
Yeah, if you want to spend the rest of the day kind of hitting up the provisioners, checking in with your father at the blacksmith, and getting any other supplies, that we can kind of hand wave most of that and figure out what supplies you need before you set out again. Is there anything in particular that you want to make sure that you do before with this time before you set back out into the ruins? Particularly regarding supplies and stuff like that, because now is the time to make sure that you've got them.
I think with me, with Veo, she's definitely looking to get as much rations as she can carry, because she's got a little bit of gold in her pocket now, and she wants to make sure that if we're going to be traveling across the city and potentially not making it back here right away, that we have some food.
Okay. Do you all want to stock up with rations, and if so, for how long?
Maybe like a solid 2 weeks. Is 2 weeks crazy?
It's a lot of stuff to carry, but not.
I can do some of the.
Okay.
I got room in my backpack.
I mean, we need enough rations to get us to the clock tower, and then I guess you want to stockpile some there.
The to avoid having to find, because if I'm not mistaken, the Emberwood Village is that's our trading. It seemed pretty scarce on our way down.
Yeah, here. If your plan is to make a base of operations out of the clock tower, it's almost in the center of the ruins, which means that if you need to come out and resupply, you'll have to go through the city again to get back out.
I think maybe we should bring some extras just in case. So even if we take a little bit more than what we need, as long as it's rations that will last. So more like salted meats and
so
stuff like that.
How, based on what we know about Veo's appetite, how much can we expect to bring for? Are we doubling? What are we looking at? 3 weeks? You want to do 3 weeks?
If we can carry. I mean, 2 weeks would be...
3 weeks is probably too much to carry.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 weeks.
I'd say 2 weeks, and, I can have some self-control if I know it needs to last. Some. Not a lot.
I'll carry some of the heavier, meatier stuff.
Okay.
And so you head back up towards the small lake by Emberwood Village, where Aldor the Immense and his caravan are camped. And he greets you once again. Welcome back. Are you buying today?
Yeah, I'd like to see your wares.
Fantastic. So I provided you all with a list of all the exotic equipment that you can purchase from him, but pretty much anything in the player's handbook is available if you want to purchase it. In addition, I do have some very fine and exclusive wares if you might be interested in them.
Exclusive?
What's today's special?
Well, I do have a selection of arcane potions and scrolls in my inventory, but in addition, a few artifacts have passed into my hands that I would be willing to part with for the right price.
Tell me more.
Yes, indeed. He pulls out his ledger, and he flips through the books, and he says, I have a shield. It was owned once by a paladin, a sentinel, who fell in battle. It's gone through many owners and is magical in nature. Next, the Amethyst Academy once in a while is able to furnish me with several of their wands. I have a wand imbued with magical missiles, which the Amethyst Academy has crafted, so you know it's high quality. And finally, one of the hooded lanterns owed me quite a debt and sold off his old magical bracers. It looks like they might be of elven make and enhance the archer's eye magically.
Those. How much are those?
We're saying like 100 gold for each.
For the bracers, I couldn't part with them for less than 800 gold pieces.
Whoa. I mean, I don't have 800. I have 400.
Darling, that's insulting.
That's friends and family discount. Aren't we friends and family? Maybe friends?
I only give a friends and family discount.
They look at him with these Puss in
I
Boots
promise
eyes.
you, I'm giving you the same price I would charge my own mother. God's rest her. very
Insight
good
soul. Insight
in the
check.
depths of hell, but
See if he's being honest about
it's
whether or
the
not
same price for my mother,
these
my
are actual
father,
marketplaces,
anyone.
or whether or not
I think I'll look elsewhere. If that's the
not
person.
his
yeah.
mother is
Not
dead or
anything
not.
cheaper? We're poor. Well, actually, we're quite rich, but apparently
Don't-
not rich.
stop.
Nope. We're poor.
Your individual purses might be a little bit light, but combined, if you were to. And you're asking me for a friends and family discount, and you won't even help out a friend in need?
Companions.
You just got new
companions.
armor.
You did.
I'm happy with my new armor.
I could interest you in a potion for, say, 50 gold pieces, maybe 100.
What kind of potion?
Healing, mostly.
I mean,
It's all that sells around here.
that's fair.
Do you have any rations?
Plenty. You can speak to my man in the back if you need some food and provisions for the city. He'll take your order, and we can agree on a fair price.
How much for 2 weeks worth?
That we could furnish you for only 50 gold pieces for the lot of you. You're
25.
trying to cut a deal with me, pussycat, but I've been
25.
around the block a little bit longer than you might have. My prices are fair and reasonable.
30. I know how much food is worth in this city.
Do you?
I do. I do plenty of jobs to earn it.
Make a persuasion check.
21.
40.
37.
39.
Sold. I got us a deal.
You did Vale.
I know
well done.
food. I know food. Yes. Deal.
Consider it a loss leader.
What?
Maybe we'll buy. Now that you've filled our future stomachs, maybe we can. We'll think about doing some more business with you.
We might
Big
need
guy.
to get a little bit more gold before.
Yes, I must admit, I am a man who knows and understands what it means to eat. Says, rubbing his immense belly.
I
I'm a little
don't.
uncomfortable.
I very much promise you, I would eat these rations. They're excellent. Only the finest salted pork, and good whole grain breads, dried nuts, fruits, lots to last you. A little bit of a sweet element in the end for the long journeys by the road.
Wonderful. That sounds delicious.
Yeah,
We've been eating roasted rat mostly.
yeah.
That's why it's the premium price, my friend.
I'll be the
Dogs.
judge of that when I eat it, and you'll know by my returned appearance to buy more.
It's a shame that you didn't pay the full price. I do have this candied salmon.
Are you okay?
She,
We don't need it.
Theo's falling over.
We don't need it. Maybe next time.
My heart. Just broke.
That's a shame. I was thinking of having it for my
It is
lunch.
broken.
Do you want to share?
He says, "My good man, bring me up some of that salted salmon." And the man brings the salted salmon out. The candied salmon. And Aldor opens up the packet and says, "I like to have a little hors d'oeuvre before my lunch. Is there any other business you would like to do?" He says, dropping a piece of the candied salmon in his mouth and chewing. And, like, you know how there's the people that it drives you insane how loudly they eat?
Yeah.
This is Aldor. So he's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's very delicious. Quite fatty, this one. I think it was cooked in oil.
How much for the salmon?
You did it.
You got her.
This is my lunch.
Yeah, but how much for the salmon?
You would buy it right out of my hand.
Yeah. I think you underestimate my desperation for
Oh,
candied
no.
salmon. How often does that come around? Wait, how often does it come around?
Oh, it might be weeks, maybe months before I get more of this in supply.
Guys.
You know how much food's worth.
It's your money.
Could have been yours, but you wanted a discount.
I'll remember this.
Wait, the point of a discount.
Please
is
do.
to
Next time I have it in
exclude
stock, I'll keep
items.
you in mind.
You don't sell any to me?
Would you like to pay full price for the rations?
Vale, we're fine. You're
I mean, if we don't have salmon, it's fine.
we can leave if you're okay
So
with that.
it's 11 gold for the salmon?
I can throw it in, yes.
Sold. Yes. I will pay the 11 gold. I will pay the 11 gold. Don't worry.
Done.
Yes.
I have some characters that I expect from.
So excited.
I would
We
never
went to
expect
the
this from a
magic
ranger.
items dealer and
Hey,
bought
Rick.
rations and salmon.
You are a
Candied
ranger.
salmon.
Do you-
Candied.
Do you save it? Do you want me to hold on to that, Veo?
Oh, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna savor it. It'll be delicious. Thank you, sir. I will come back to you every time.
Sebastian, you must understand that some of the most magical things in this world are the ones that end up in your stomach.
Like ale.
Yes.
I mean, I think I'm stocked up on potions and
You used one,
yeah,
and you have another.
I have 3 others.
You have 3 others?
I mean, 1 other.
Because I wrote, I have 2.
I stole those 2 from the.
Oh right.
By the way, you all owe 13 gold for these rations. I'm
yeah.
not paying for them out of my own purse.
I thought you bought them.
We'll divvy up. We'll divvy up the.
Yeah.
13 gold.
I'll pay Veo her share, as she hands me it to
Wow.
put in my backpack.
And if there's any other supplies or other toolkits that you guys want to pick up, we can go over that. We can worry about that as it comes up.
Yep.
But if there are any other particular supplies like climbers kits or ropes or thieves tools or anything like that, that you
Yeah, I
want
did
to pick
see
up,
those.
I have thieves' tools.
How much for thieves' tools?
25.
Sold.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm proficient in. Them,
More
so.
rope?
And
They
Veo,
all have
yeah.
this
Do you have
Yeah.
more? Do you have a
I'll buy
longer
these
than a
thieves'
50-foot
tools.
rope?
And what time
You'd need
do
to
you
get.
close?
They come in spools of 50.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So having visited Aldor, and none of you want to buy any of the potions or anything like that?
Not yet.
Okay. Not even just a healer's kit?
How much is a healer's kit?
5.
I'll buy a healer's kit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So having stocked up with supplies, and made all your other arrangements, and had the armor finished up from Tobias Crow. How would the rest of you? How would you like to spend the rest of the day before you decide to set out? Is your plan to set out in the morning then, for Drakkenheim?
Yeah, we should
Okay.
we should get an early start because
Yeah, we'll leave at like sunrise, or just before sunrise.
can we get one more night of drinking in?
Yeah, let's go.
Can we
let's
get
go back to the
one
the pub.
more? Just one more, like.
I mean, we're not going to be back
We're
here
not
for a
gonna be able to
while,
drink for
so
a while,
this is
and-
kind of like the nicest thing that we've had in a little
The
bit.
hotel.
I would not
Yeah.
say no to some tavern stew again.
Mm,
All right,
You can convince me.
let's hit up the tavern again.
what's it called?
The
The
Bark and Buzzard.
Bark and Buzzard. Oh yeah, with the sign.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah, so the Bark and Buzzard, which the sign of it has a vulture eating the entrails of a dog, but both of them are smiling and laughing. In the
Yeah,
sign.
and this is
Like,
the
it's
most family-friendly
delightful thing
place
that's ever
apparently
I
in
When
laugh
we're at
every
home.
time I see it too,
Establishment.
because it's a dog being eaten by a buzzard. How can you
Yes,
not
yes.
laugh at that?
Yeah. As you head into the Bark and Buzzard tonight, and it looks pretty lively as you head up in the later of the part of the evening. As you walk in, you can see a wide variety of folk have assembled in it. It's packed compared to the way that it was yesterday. And as you sit down and take your seats, a rather skinny-looking woman comes up and serves you and brings you some drinks. You don't see Karen or Holger Alsberg in the bar.
Excuse me,
staff change.
where's the owners of the place?
The woman turns around to you and says, "They've got the night off."
Have they ever had the night off? I mean, I guess I haven't been here in a while. Maybe they're doing well. Maybe they hired more staff. What's your name?
Cora.
Cora. Do they often take nights off?
They're getting older.
Well, let's get around. One round of drinks, Cora.
Coming right up.
I don't like her attitude. She's not very good at her
As you
job.
walk away, Veo, you spy in the corner of the bar, seated at a table, are 4 familiar-looking people.
Hmm.
One of them, there are 2 halflings, a man and a woman, a dwarf, and a human man. And they are all wearing the bandanas of the Queen of Thieves.
Uh-oh.
And we recognized them.
Yes.
10 o'clock in the corner. Told you we should have killed them.
We tried. They
Oh, are
ran
they the
away.
ones that
The
escaped?
ones that got away.
I threw my axe at one.
I cast a
I hope they
spell at
don't-
one.
Hope they don't.
Oh.
hold that against me.
Have they spotted us?
Do you caught them in a glance? Do you look to see?
Yeah, they're like behind me, and I'm gonna like glance over my shoulder at them.
Cool. Make a deception check.
Sleight of hand.
22.
You carefully turn around, and they are watching you like hawks.
Is there
Is there-
anybody that looks familiar from the day before? In the
You look around, scanning the bar. Make a perception check.
13.
Scan around. You don't recognize any of these people. And all of them are armed. And you think you can see the insignia of the Queen's men on another one of them. It looks like they've taken a quick effort to try and conceal it under their cloak.
Hmm.
It looks like there must be about a dozen people in the bar.
How close are we to the door?
You have to move past a few tables to get to the door.
And this is it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to? Let's
Where's
let's
it?
place some figures on the board. Let's see the setup.
Oh boy.
Okay.
We're at the bar.
What table did we take?
The one by the stairs.
Oh. Oh, I
So
wanna be
there's
by
the group
stairs.
of
Put
four
me by
at the
stairs.
far table.
Put me by the stairs. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's nice. Because you turned your back to look at the bar.
Yeah. And
So
I made eye
Vale's
contact.
the one that saw them,
Yeah.
and I'm the one who turned to look at them, so that makes sense.
Where's our drinks, Cora? Come on.
The woman in the red dress there is Cora.
This isn't.
And then if you want to put the others just
Ominous
around
at
the
all.
other tables. Anywhere you like.
surrounding us. Oh my god. There's so many.
Yeah, that looks good. Nobody's sitting at the bar.
So I've looked around.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see that this place looks a little bit crowded with the wrong type of folk.
Yep.
This was supposed to be a family institution.
And is that a door that's directly behind Veo?
Yes.
I glance at the back door and then at you guys.
Can we do about 20 seconds of shifting eyes of just like looking back towards the door
I like
and then
it.
to each other
Pork chops.
and then the other
Pork chops.
Pork chops.
Caw, caw.
We really need to work on a signal here.
I stand from the table and loudly say, I have to take a leak. and walk towards the door.
Okay. You get up from your chair, and as you do so, there's a large man at the base of sitting at the table at the base of the stairs, right there. Yep. And he turns to you. He's wearing leather armor, and you can see that he has his hand on the short sword that he's wearing at his side. And he says, "The outhouse is occupied. You'll have to wait a moment. Just sit down."
I mean, I can go pee in the bushes. It's not a big deal. I can just pop out the back door here. I mean, I don't need it. It's fine.
So he says this to
Mhm.
Sebastian.
Yep,
right?
to Sebastian.
A little
Yeah.
aggressive.
You have some pretty aggressive thoughts on your bio breaks there.
Yeah.
Just in case you had to go at the other end.
You don't tell my herald where to pee. And
Fine.
I'm going to grab the table
Mhm.
and flip it at him. So I'm just gonna pick up the table and just throw it at this
There
leather.
goes the subtlety.
Okay, so you knock the
So I
table over with
stand
a
up
loud
and just-
crash, spilling the empty mugs that were left on it all over the floor, and the room suddenly goes silent. You can hear a pin drop as everyone else in the bar gets to their feet.
I still had a few gulps of beer in there.
You can pee it out. You can just what? So I'm standing up. I'm also holding the end of my sword, and I'm scanning the room.
As you do, you see Cora. She kind of pulls her hair back. She straightens her dress a little bit, and she's got the drinks in her hands. And she says, Now, there's no need to get aggressive again. We just want to have a little bit of a conversation with you lot.
Oh, I mean, talking's good. We should talk with them.
What do you want?
First, write that table.
Pluto, we're civilized
Have a
people
seat.
here.
Yeah, and I motion to the leather man. I'm gonna call him Leather Man.
Okay.
And I don't take my hand off the sword, and I just stare at him. 'Cause I don't. Pluto flips tables, but he don't pick them up.
He says, Do it yourself, cur.
Sebastian sighs and starts picking the table up.
It's very heavy, but you manage.
Thank you,
it.
Harold.
The table as you flip the table back over, she puts 3 mugs of ale down in front of you, and she says, "Have a seat, take a drink." And then she comes around the other side and sits down as well.
Yep. And I'm just sitting in my chair, and you can see my tail just swishing behind me. And I'm just like, this is really civil. Hi.
Do I have the feeling that she's that she poisoned it?
I don't know. Do you?
I do.
I don't know how to tell you what you feel. You're in control of your feelings.
I do. I don't touch the drink.
I pick the drink up
Mhm.
and I say, suddenly I'm not thirsty, and I pour it onto the floor.
Why are we all being so rude?
She frowns. She says, "Not many people around here would turn down free booze, but fine."
I take mine, and I'm like, free booze, okay, thanks.
Okay. And do you drink?
Yep.
Okay. And she says, she gestures over to the 4 sitting over on the side. My friends there say that you all had a bit of a disagreement with them in town yesterday.
Yeah, they were going to kill some children.
It's our turf. They weren't going to kill anybody.
That's not what they said.
They're just collecting the queen's tax.
They said they were going to gut them like pigs. Literally, that's what they said.
She turns to them and goes, "Is that true, guys?" And they kind of like they just shrug.
Wait, what?
Regardless, you stepped on our business. You interfered, and now you've shown up here in town.
I interfere when children and elderly are being threatened. Yes, is that surprising to you?
Come on.
Come on.
Did those guys give you any of their lecture about how crazy they are? They're perfect marks. Don't interfere on our business. This is your only warning.
This is my town, not yours. Now you're on my turf, and you're causing problems.
Listen, the queen is powerful. She's a merciful queen. She likes people who are useful, cooperative. She knows that there's too many corpses in Drakkenheim. When people are busy robbing instead of murdering, she says, turning to the group over there, the city runs well. It starts to feel a little bit like home again. Things go well. Bunch of mercs like yourselves come into town, start butting their nose in business they have no business in. Then we run into some problems. The queen has a lot of work. She has a lot of use. You've already killed 6 of her boys. That's a problem. But maybe we can come to an agreement. What do you think?
Oh boy.
What sort of agreement?
Careful. I don't trust this.
I don't trust them either, but, I mean, we either fight to the death, or we hear them out and then still potentially fight to the death. I'd rather hear them out just in case there's something good here. What do you got?
Queen's interested in making some big scores. We've been listening in as you've been asking around town. We heard that little kerfluffle that you had this morning with Lord Jackson.
Jones.
Oh, Lord Jones.
It's confusing.
Too many
A
J's.
lot of
Hey,
J
put
names
it this way.
in Caspia.
The Queen's looking for some interested and powerful business partners. The Jones are interesting and powerful. Maybe we make a deal with them. Maybe we make a deal with you.
A good Caspian would never find themselves with scum like you. Bunch of thieves and thugs and
Is that the way we're going with this?
and
My tail starts swishing faster.
I said it before, this is our turf. Now I suggest that you leave with your men before things get ugly. And I'm going to cast suggestion on her.
What's your spell DC?
What's the saving throw DC?
15.
She succeeds.
Damn.
She reacts, and one of the others say, "Oi! He just tried to bewitch Cora with his magic. I heard him speaking them words."
I was mumbling. I mumble sometimes.
It's pretty unmistakable. She stands back. And say, "I guess we're gonna do this the fun way. Roll for initiative."
Guess we're no friends of the Queen's men, eh?
I don't
feel like we've made this choice.
I don't deal with thugs.
Had to go sticking our buns in their business.
I need to get one of my dry erase markers.
At least I'm
So
near
we're
the
still
door.
around this nice little table here that's been corrected
Mustard.
for some
Run
reason.
away!
I got to try my new spell out. I took suggestion when I leveled up, for anybody who's interested. It hasn't worked
Hey, I got
well
that.
so far.
But 0 for 1,
Oh, for one.
but that's okay. You only have room for improvement.
I can only go up from here.
Or at least stay level.
Yeah, I'll either stay the same or do better. There's no down.
Okay, so going down the order. What do we got? Vale?
10.
10?
17.
17?
20.
20. Okay.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I know, I impressed myself.
High roller.
I rolled terrible. That's
It's okay.
okay.
Oh, yeah, you did. You have the best initiative out of any of us.
Yeah.
So what did you get again, Sebastian?
17.
So the group of thugs that you faced last time are going last.
Yeah, because they're scared.
Vale. Then the other bandits. Bastion. And Cora.
Oh,
And what we'll do is, since you were talking with Cora, I'm gonna move her right up over. No, she's the woman in the red
red.
dress.
Oh,
Oh, that's an omen of grim things to come.
beer everywhere.
Pluto smashes up the bar without even trying.
Yeah, this is my specialty.
Oh, she's right next to me.
Yeah.
Hi, Cora!
Oh, golly.
Okay. So as this all goes down, Cora, very quickly reaches into her blouse and produces a long stiletto dagger and seeing you readying the next spell on your lips, Sebastian, she lunges forward into you.
Oh,
Getting a 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. That hurts.
It's very catty of her.
It's going to be 7 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
And as she lifts the blade out of your shoulder, she pulls another one from seemingly in her garter and stabs you in the side, getting a 19 to hit
Oh, that's worse.
Oh,
for another 7 points of damage.
oh, jeez.
And then she'll spend her cunning action to disengage and leap back behind the bar. So she kind of like stabs you in the side, pushes the daggers into you, twists them briefly, pushes back, and leaps back over the bar and says, "Get them!"
Oh,
Pluto, you're up.
here we go.
Sassy lady.
I'm bleeding,
I
man.
see you start getting
You're just like,
stabbed by this
"Ow."
ninja woman,
I'm
and
bleeding hard.
the table's back up again, right?
Yes, it is.
I throw it at the man in the leather, and I say, "Go out the back door."
Okay. I'm going to have you make a improvised attack with the table against the man.
What do I get to add?
Your strength.
I got an 18.
So you pick the table up with two hands, hurl it directly at him, and it smashes across him. Roll, give me 2d8 for damage, plus your strength modifier.
Ooh. Oh, not bad. 8 damage.
8 damage. The table, the side of the table, like, tilts forward and hits him in the side of the head, sending him crashing into the wall, and you hear this snap, and he just collapses on the ground dead.
And then I'm going to...
They're going for
Is
quantity, not
this-
quality.
Am I engaged with red leather vest there?
You are engaged with the red leather vest lady.
Okay, I'm going to bonus action shove her with my shield.
Okay.
With the shield. I'm the master of the shield.
Ooh, good. Good bonus
Wow.
action.
Apparently I'm not. 8?
You still finding your footing after hurling the table with so much force. You're not able to. She's able to basically just roll right out of the way.
Okay, and again I give another yell. Out now.
Okay, Sebastian.
There's so much fun I can have. I move up the square.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let me just see something here. Let's boom. I can hit all 3 of them.
Singe those eyebrows.
Alrighty.
So I step up and I expel fire from my hands
Bare hand.
in all over that group sitting at that table as they're standing up.
Okay. They all make dexterity saving throws. The woman that rolled out of the way of Pluto's shield rolls directly into the line of the fire and is completely engulfed by it, but the other 2 dive behind the table and make their saving throws, but roll the damage regardless.
8.
The woman, the woman in the red vest, lands as a burned mass on the ground, but the other 2 are simply lightly singed, and they're both bloodied.
Ooh.
At this point, I turn and I'm like, I was really hoping I wouldn't set this place on fire again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that table is definitely aflame now.
And I head towards the back door.
Okay. As you push up against it, you hear a thud.
No.
It seems like something's got the door stuck.
Uh-oh.
Guys, the door's not open.
Well.
And that's my turn.
Okay. The thugs. Or no, it's the other bandits. Okay. So. I got a lot of them. This is great. I love having
no.
many foes. So there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's 7 of them actually, because we have Cora. So there's the 2 of them at the bar, the man with the pumpkins and the man with the 2 swords over his head. They pull out their crossbows and they both take pot shots at Peludo.
Hi.
But the highest one is a 16.
Solid. So my shield just takes them both.
Mm-hmm. The other three of them, the dwarf and the other man with the two swords, the ones closer to you. No, not that guy at all. The ones, those two over there. They rush at you, Paluto.
So there's two.
And
two so far.
the man kind of lunges over the table with his sword, and it lands on the ground with a thud. And as you step back, the dwarf woman swings a short sword at you, and she scores a critical hit.
No!
And it hits you right in the stomach.
Pluto!
For 8 points of damage. The two underneath the table that dodged out of the way of
8 damage on a crit. Not very good.
Your fire. They come back around and they throw their daggers at you, Sebastian. The highest is an 11.
Woo!
So the two daggers. So you're pulling at the door, and basically these two daggers go whoosh whoosh on either side.
Either side of me, and I'm like, oh god.
I want to for the one that stabbed at the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring my sword. I want to repost.
Okay.
And bring my sword on.
So she looks up at you with her knife in your gut, basically, and you bring your sword down on her. Make the attack roll.
18.
The sword pommel lands on her head.
Yeah.
Just imagining all the fun bar fight music happening.
For 13 damage.
So you cave in her skull, and she collapses to the ground, and the end of the blade pulls out of your side with like this like thwack noise.
I like to think that gives the other one the opening for the crit. Like I cave her head in, and then I just get stabbed.
And the last one, the woman with the serving tray, she rushes forward. And
she was just
all of them.
No, she's another one of the Queen's men. She rushes forward towards Vea with the serving tray, and basically winds up with this metal serving tray and goes to smash Vea in the face with it. And she only gets a 8 to hit.
A lot of improvised weapons.
All I say is, well, I didn't order that, so no thank you.
Send it back to the kitchen.
This chicken's cold. This lady's cold.
Veo, it's your turn.
So as she's swinging at me, I touch my shoulder and I cast Zephyr Strike as my bonus action because I'm getting the heck out of there. And I know the door is locked behind me, so I go for the closest open window. And I also have my feline agility, which allows me to get about 90 feet. So I'm going to scramble over to the window. And because I have Zephyr Strike, no opportunity
That
attacks.
window is closed.
So the one beside it,
Yeah.
So I jump through the window.
Okay.
And as I jump through,
Mm-hmm.
I turn around and I take my longbow and I aim it at what's her name?
Cora?
Cora.
Yeah. Okay.
As my first attack.
No.
like in the air, jumping.
Yeah, like as you're leaping out the window with the spin. Yeah.
Cool spin move.
And because of my Zephyr Strike, I get advantage on that. It's an awesome spell. Love that spell. And I do 16
To hit.
to hit.
The arrow lands solidly and strikes her. Roll the damage.
Ooh.
And that on my D8.
Are you sharpshooting?
I am not on
Okay.
this one.
Just a cool jumping through window shot.
Just the cool jumping through window shots. I'm taking 15 damage on that one.
So the The arrow hits her solidly in the chest, and she screams out in pain. She's bloodied.
Nice.
And I'm going to run to the second open window
Mm-hmm.
and take another shot at her.
Okay.
This time,
Just shooting at her through the window.
also not with. I won't take sharpshooter on this one either. With my longbow, and that's a 27 to
my
hit.
God. Yeah, that hits.
And 7 damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Extremely wounded, but she is still alive.
And I continue just past.
Okay.
Thank-
As you walk past the doors, you can see a heavy wooden bar has been pushed through the entranceway, through the door handles to
Mhm.
bar it from the outside.
Sweet. Like,
Okay.
smart.
That's what I would
The
do.
the other
Yeah.
thugs, as you run out, you can hear her screaming to the others, "Don't let her get away! Don't let her get away! Go after her!" And the few of them, they get up, and the 2 halflings leap out the window.
I can't see. I tried to go into battle mode.
No, you're in battle mode.
And
Don't
the
worry.
2 of them see you.
Oh.
The 2 halflings leap out the window with their daggers, land on the ground, and they see you there, and you're like, "Now we're gonna be chasing you, pussycat!" And they come at you with their daggers to attack,
Oh no.
getting a 16 and a 17 to hit
Both hit.
for a total of 10 damage. As the 2 of them basically leap out the window, and they kind of like bunny hop, like they land on the ground and then jump again right at you, kind of like with a bonsai scream, and land on the other side, and they rake their daggers down your back.
All you hear is "Ow!"
The dwarf, the dwarf, he rushes for the door, and it looks like he forgot that the door has been barred. And he like pulls at it, and Cora screams at him, "You idiot!" And the other man goes out the front window as well and rushes towards the door. And you can hear Cora yelling, "Don't open the door, just go after her." Yep. And we go to the top of the round with Cora, who she dives behind the bar, and you see the doors to the kitchen fly open as she runs back inside there. Yeah, into the kitchen.
Running away, eh? We keep letting them get away.
Paluto, you're up.
I'm gonna bring my sword down on Captain Crit over here. 20 to hit
20, that hits him.
for 10 damage.
What happens?
So I scream out as he hits me, and I just straight up impale him with the sword. I just stab it into him, and I get.
This is actually not the guy that crit you. This is the guy
Oh.
that landed on the ground.
You
You
already
killed that.
killed the crit.
They're already dead.
I just stabbed through his foot, and then I kind of like uppercut him as I pull my sword
Oh,
out of his
he
foot.
is extremely dead.
And then I rush after. I go to slam the barmaid into the wall. So I'm gonna run at her, and I'm gonna bonus action shove her,
Directly into the wall.
Yeah.
Nice.
getting a 14.
Yeah, you send her slamming. You want to knock her prone or
Yeah.
push her? Okay, so yeah, you slam her back into the wall and knock her prone.
Nice.
Yep.
And I scream out, get out of here, you thieves! That
Nice.
wasn't even cool, man. I should have came up with a way. Oh, I go, dinner is served.
Afterwards, like,
Yeah.
there's an awkward pause.
There's a big long pause, and you can see me stumbling through the line.
Sebastian,
Get on
you're
your
up.
base, lady.
Why not? Sebastian jumps up on the table and says, "Lights out," and then uses 2 sorcery points to cast darkness on himself.
Okay. We'll just
We don't
remember it.
need
If
to
we need
know.
to refer to the template, we'll pull it out again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a shadow of darkness appears around me.
I squeal.
Shadowy goes. And I think that's all I can do. If I use sorcery points, that's my action, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's it.
Does that darkness envelop Pluto?
No.
Okay.
It does not.
Okay. The bandits, with no recourse but to go, seeing all this magical darkness, all the bandits in the bar level all their crossbows and shoot Pluto.
It's like,
Yeah.
Exactly what I was going for.
So
I do
the
not know
one
that.
woman tries.
So I turn around
yeah.
and there's like 5 crossbows looking at me.
More than that, there's
What?
7 of them.
Oh god.
No.
Yeah, there's 7 of them.
2, 3, 4, 5.
There's one
6.
behind it, 6, I
There's-
think.
Yeah, no, there's
Oh,
one more,
6.
and then there's the barmaid. So she's gonna try to stab Pluto, but she's prone, so she's got disadvantage. So she only gets a 7. The others all try to shoot you. They basically all level their crossbows, and you hear this.
Uh-oh.
But I'm not doing so hot. That's a 5 and a 10. A 17 and a crit.
The crit hits.
their aim is true tonight.
Another crit and an 18.
What?
And a natural 1. So basically,
The
this
2
this,
crits definitely hit.
There's
The
2
ones are
crits
good.
and 2 hits. So you.
Well, actually, my AC is now 19 because of my new armor.
Okay, so the 18 didn't hit then.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 crits though and 1 regular hit. That is some hot dice. So basically, what happens is a pair of shots basically hit near your heart,
I need that for the pumping.
and the crits deal a total of 17 points of damage between the 2 shots,
That's like this.
and the remaining hit only
Oh,
does
look
3 points of damage.
Nice. I'm
Ow.
bloodied, but
You're still
I'm up.
standing.
I'm up.
So after basically seeing all of the everyone in the bar shoot you, and you're still standing, the other people go, oh shit.
We may miss a lot of people.
Maybe it's because I slammed the lady into the wall and I start to rethink my choices. Sorry. lady.
Veo, it's your turn.
Hmm.
I cast another Zephyr Strike on myself because I want to get away from these
Okay.
halflings. And that lets me go 60 feet. So I want to go back the way I came
Okay.
and around the building. How far can I get?
Right to there.
At 60?
Yep.
Okay.
You can see now that Sebastian is emanating magical darkness, so your line of sight is blocked because of the darkness there.
Sorry.
Or wait, you're inside the area of darkness, so you can, because you're not blind. As long as you're not targeting someone in the darkness, you're not blinded by it.
Okay.
Yep.
No, I'm not.
Cool.
I am going to. Who am I going to take a shot at? I want to take a shot at the guy with the pumpkins.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to use sharpshooter.
Pumpkin man.
But I get advantage with my Zephyr Strike.
Mhm.
And I get a 24.
Nice. That hits.
Oh, ouch. 19.
What happened?
I want to get him square in the chest, but I want the pumpkins to go flying. So,
Yeah, I think he was carrying the pumpkins as a diversion. He had his daggers in the pumpkins as a like dagger strike. And so so the pumpkins go flying, and do they land safely? Oh, they do.
Oh, good.
still good?
Okay. Oh, good.
Oh,
Nice.
thank goodness.
That's wasted pumpkins. That
Yeah, I
would
don't
be a
wanna waste the
shame.
pumpkins.
Someone in Twitch chat asks, I thought the darkness spell blotted out the entire area completely. Not in my campaign. Not when you play with a lighting designer who does not like that way. Yeah. The way that I rule the darkness spell, if you're wondering in Twitch chat, is that it works like actual darkness does in the real world, which means it's not an area of ink black darkness that you can't see out of. It's like an inverse pool of light. So while you're in it, you can see out of it. It's an interpretation of the spell that I prefer because
But
it actually
then
makes logical sense.
What is the benefit of my ability?
That you can see through it?
Yeah.
Because you can still see someone that's in it with you.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if someone's right beside you in the darkness spell,
They can't see me.
they're effectively blinded, but you're not. But you can see outside of it, just like if you're standing in a pool of shadow. If you're standing in an area in real life, if you're standing in darkness and someone else is illuminated, they can't see you, but you can see them.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. Good question, though.
Yeah, it's a tricky spell to adjudicate, and this is the one that makes sense to me. Maybe we should do a whole video on it.
Ooh.
Maybe we will.
Cool. So that actually was Vea. Was there anything else you wanted to do with your turn?
I think did I move all the movement I can move? 60 feet? Yeah. As long as
Yeah.
I move 60 feet, then I'm good.
Cool. The two halflings pursue you around the corner, but they have to use their entire movement to get right back up to you.
Smell you later, halflings.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Are we?
We are back to the top of the round with Cora, who is hiding out in the kitchen, and you can't see what she does.
What's she doing?
So we're up to Pluto.
I need to know. And 15, 20, 25, 30.
You could dash.
I'm gonna run towards the bar, and I'm gonna take a swipe at Captain Two Swords.
There is the woman that's on the ground beside you.
Oh yeah, I guess I could murder her, but no.
Okay. She
But-
does take a swipe at you as you
Okay.
move away, but she misses. It hits the back of the leg plate on your armor, but doesn't penetrate.
Okay. And so I'm gonna take a swipe at this guy, and then first I'm gonna swipe at him. Swipe. Oh no. Precision strike. I get a 16.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I needed.
Nice.
The blade lands solidly on him.
For 13 damage. I slice him in half as I jump over the bar.
His guts spill all over the bar.
And
And you jump over the bar.
yeah, I want to jump over
Okay.
the bar.
Alrighty. You leap over the bar.
Oh, and then one more thing. I'm gonna do my healing. My
Second win?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then that's my turn.
Sebastian, you're up.
So from within my magical darkness, I'm going to cast Scorching Ray,
So you have advantage on all the shots.
and because I took Elven Accuracy. as
Oh my
before,
god.
So I'm going to
It
target.
begins.
First, I'm going to target the shield and axe guy.
Okay. Or the axe and shield guy.
Axe and shield.
how
I'm
do
just
you
going to
get that
re-roll this dice because I can. And no, 24 to hit
Yeah, that's a flawless hit.
for 6 damage.
The fiery ray engulfs the man's head and burns it to a crisp.
Nice.
Fiery
There it
ghost.
goes.
Then the elf with the swords.
Yep.
And we'll re-roll. Cool. Over 20.
Yeah. The shadowy flame strikes forth in searing rays.
7 damage.
She is slain. What happens to her?
I burn a hole through her chest, but it's so big that she kind of just splits in half.
All of them don't really know what's happening with this area of darkness. Like, they just see the lights go out, and they take a bunch of shots towards into it to try to fell Paluto, and then all of a sudden a bunch of fiery rays come out of them, kill 2 of them, and a third one.
The third one is going to go for the dwarf at the door.
Yep.
Going to re-roll.
Almost a crit.
And over 20 again.
Alrighty.
5 damage.
The dwarf is slain.
Wrecked.
Yep, he was the one that got away from you earlier. Doesn't look like he recovered from all of his wounds, though.
Awesome.
Nice.
You got your sweet
guy.
revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the one guy still standing in the room is one of the guys that got away earlier as well.
There is also the barmaid.
Is he
And
like
the-
panicked
and the barmaid.
slamming on the door?
Yeah, he is. And that's what he's going to do. He's like, I shouldn't have ever come back and done any of this again. You guys are crazy.
Yes, we're getting a good reputation.
Yep. And he leaps out the window and runs screaming down the street.
Screaming in flight.
If he escapes twice, oh man. I'm going after Cora.
Old Jimmy the Runner.
Jimmy,
Old Jimmy the Runner. Okay. And now the barmaid, she gets to her feet and stumbles forward. And she runs to the window as well. She dashes all the way out through the window. The far one, because she's not going to run into the area of darkness. That thing just fired fiery lasers out of it and killed 3 of her friends. So she's not going to have any of that. So she dashes out the window, dives out of it. If there was glass in it, it would be well broken by now. So she runs out into the street. And we go now to Veo.
So I still have Zephyr Strike cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to continue to run past the windows because I'm going to try to make it to the back door so I can open it because I still know that they're stuck inside.
Okay.
So I want to get around the corner.
Mm-hmm. You can see that a crowbar has been wedged in the door.
And I want to pull it out.
Okay. Pull it out and the door opens.
Hi, guys. Oh, and everybody seems dead in here. And I run inside.
Okay. You run inside. And there is some smoldering ashes of one of the central tables and several corpses in the rest of the bar.
And I look towards the darkness, but I'm like, good job, Sebastian.
I give you the thumbs up, but you can't
I
tell.
can't see. All right. That's it.
Yeah. At this stage, I'm going to send it over to Pluto.
I'm gonna burst through the door into what I believe is the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
using my shield as like a battering ram.
Yep.
And
And you can see that the back door is hanging open, ajar, but Cora is nowhere to be seen.
I'm gonna go to the back door. Can I see in any direction? Does it
It's
look
dusk, so night is starting to fall, and you think you can hear footsteps running off into the forest.
the forest?
I think we've done all we can for this. They
I'm
can
gonna
go home.
I'm gonna
and
do the
tell
give
me.
up thing where I stand there again. Nuts. Nuts.
Well,
Is there anyone else in the kitchen? Like, I'm looking for Karen.
The
Or
oh yeah.
you make a perception check.
13.
You can hear some muffled screaming coming from the cellar door.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna open it
Cool.
cautiously, but
And at that point, I think we will need to wrap up for the night. We're at 9:00.
Oh.
Yeah. As the rest of the bandits flee.
I assume the Celador is
Once again,
owners
the
who were-
halflings and
who
the
are hoping
human
for life.
the human guy got away. 3 of them that were the ones that survived were the ones that
I did get the dwarf.
you did get the
Oh.
dwarf.
Did
Yeah.
finish the
Also, you guys see a big ball of darkness move to the table that's on fire, and I put out the fire, and then as I move away, you see that it's better.
I imagine that you there's like chicken there, and then you go
Oh,
over there,
yeah.
and then you disappear, and the chicken's
The
gone.
darkness moves in, and then like a pint of beer and the chicken are both missing from the
And the-
table.
and the-
I was
and
gonna
the
go
glass-
over. I was gonna go over and be like, "Chicken, look, it's oh, it's
and
gone."
the plate is like doing the spin. It's like the little rock.
And then my darkness spell disappears, and I'm sitting at the table eating chicken and drinking beer, being like, oh,
Mhm.
I need to relax, guys. It's been a night. It's been a day.
It's been a whole day.
It has been a day indeed. We will pick this up again
It's a
next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and hopefully
That's a
with
pile
all
also,
these
right?
audio issues fixed again, I'll do some big tests this weekend and see.
Tomorrow,
Thank you again for bearing with us.
maybe
on it.
tomorrow.
We hope you enjoyed
tomorrow,
it regardless.
I think
We
the only
do have
program
a
I'd be
few
doing is
announcements to close
maybe part
things
2
out. I do want to thank
Critical
again
Role
to
will
you, our
reaction.
viewers, and our cast, Kelly, Jill, and Joe, as well as Kyle, working tirelessly behind the scenes, and our producer, Clayton, for helping to bring all this stuff together and make sure that it runs as smoothly as we can get it going. They do a really great
Mhm.
job. And you were chatting with Kyle in chat if you participated there, so a big thanks to him as well.
And also, if you're enjoying the stream and want to help support our work, check out our Patreon. You can find it by following the links below or at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes.
Kelly and I do post our new videos every Thursday on YouTube, where we cover everything Dungeons and Dragons, including advice for dungeon masters and guides for players. You'll also find prior episodes of this campaign available for your viewing there too. Definitely check out this week's episode because we just shot an amazing discussion between Kelly and I on horror. So for any of you running upcoming Halloween or scary adventures, we really love this one. So it's going to be a really good episode on Thursday.
And tonight's audio was again brought to you by Tabletop Audio. Solid soundtrack.
Yeah, and the narration for the introduction was performed by 100 Years Boars. Thank you so much for that.
Our game accessories are generously provided by Axe and Shield.
And we use terrain by Dwarven Forge and miniatures by Hero Forge and WizKids.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in the Dungeons of Drakkenheim.
Bye.
And that's it for us. This will be posted immediately. Goodbye. Hey, this is Free Night Adventure, wishing you good fortune on the quest of life.